Hello, friends. You are on the channel about business in Poland, Vitaly here, and today we will talk about employer scams. And I will tell you a few shocking stories that led me to the police. And I don't want this to happen to you. Often the employer is a more experienced person, let's say, than we are in the field of work, business, and so on. And some people take their word for it, thinking that if a guy said it, a guy did it. What a shame. Unfortunately, this is not always the case. And they end up in very interesting stories. I won't mention names or surnames, but just recently I was at the police station called as a witness. Once again, for a case where two friends who have known each other since childhood started a business together, something went wrong, one worked for the other, and very big problems began. Swings, and kind of unclear situations. I look, shrug my shoulders, and I really don't want you to end up in such situations. So let me tell you about the cases that actually happened with my friends and acquaintances. You share your stories in the comments, and in this way, we will all become smarter, more experienced, and won't get into trouble. And the first thing we will start with. You simply weren't hired for the job. That is, you shook hands with someone, you were told everything is set, maybe you even signed a contract, but in reality, you might simply not be hired because the taxes on you, if you're not a student under 26, are about 70% of your salary. So you can be quite expensive for an employer in an official job, and not everyone hires people. How can you check this, you might ask? Very simple. You can call Zeus to find out if they even know about you and whether taxes are being paid for you. You can ask your employer for a certificate that you are registered with ZOS. At the end of the year, the employer must give you a PIT 11 with their signature, where it will actually state what you have worked and how much tax has been paid for you. If a year has passed and you haven't been given a PIT 11, that's the first sign that something is wrong. Therefore, if you're unsure, you have the right to ask your employer. Scam number 2. They might be paying you below the market rate. I've encountered situations where a person says, yes, I've settled in, I'm working officially, and how much do you officially earn? Well, I work there on a machine, I earn 9 zlotys per hour. 9 zlotys per hour? Wait, but there is a minimum wage, a minimum regional hourly rate. How can you be earning less? It's a guaranteed minimum, that's the thing. You are definitely working officially, yes, definitely working officially, and the person is receiving a wage below the floor, below the standard that is required for the employer. Well, for the lowest paid positions, let's say, you can also keep an eye on this. In the comments in the description of this video, we will show you the current minimum regional rates, but remember that during the year, let's say now in 2023. Throughout 2023, they will change several times, so forget about a salary of 8 zlotys per hour. Moreover, if you work abroad, that is roughly speaking, you work in Germany or somewhere else, and you are sent there, the employer is obligated to pay you no less than the salary for similar positions in the country where you are sent. Specifically for the time you are delegated there, accordingly, many employers, and they probably hate me already, right? No, God, please, no. No. They pay you according to Polish rates, while understanding that, roughly speaking, they pay you 3 euros per hour, yet sell your services there for 11 euros per hour. In Germany, there's a slight margin. The next scam is when they place personal liability on you. You worked as a logistics specialist in a company before, or perhaps as some kind of driver. The car broke down not due to your fault. Well, they just rented a car and it broke down. And they tell you, you got behind the wheel, it broke down while you were driving, so pay up, cover the cost. That's it. Or if the work laptop they gave you breaks down while you're using it, pay up, cover the cost, yes. And here, my friends, read the contract. Read the contract, what you are signing, so that they don't pile a bunch of nonsense on you. On one hand, and on the other hand, if they try to impose something extra on you, like financial liability, for example, for the car, or anything else, please read the contract to see if such financial liability is stipulated for you. Because if it's not stipulated, if you haven't signed separately, like a handover act, of this particular item, let's say, with some kind of responsibility, then it's like water off a duck's back for you. I mean, legally, it's not really, we sit, you. So read the contract, keep it, and if anything happens, refer to it. A story related to this. A person worked as a transport manager at a transport company. His employer asked him to help choose a vehicle. At the same time, the person is not a service station. He is a technical specialist. Is the car okay? Well, it seems okay. They took the car, Then the car breaks down. Well, it breaks down after driving some kilometers or thousands of kilometers. It breaks down, and the employer tells the employee, come on, now pay for the car. You chose it, you're kind of responsible for it. He says, stop, wait, that wasn't even my job. Well, you chose it, you recommended this car. The next scam and the next story you might get into. One of my acquaintances got caught in this, unfortunately, with goods, various items purchased for the company. Many people kind of know that when you buy goods for the company with VAT, you can later reclaim this VAT, so to speak, meaning, roughly speaking, the goods will cost you 23% less because you will later collect this VAT from the client. In general, that's a separate story about VAT. If you're interested in a video on this topic, leave a plus in the comments and we'll record a more detailed one. But nevertheless, how does this story look? You might say, listen, can I buy goods? You have a company. Can I buy goods for the company? Or if I'm an employee, can you buy me, a phone, for example, as part of my salary? The employer says, yes, of course, no problem. Go ahead, buy the phone, use it, maybe give it to your wife or something else. It's fine. You bought it cheaper. The difference, let's say the VAT or part of it, you give to the employer. You also transferred some to his card, like a cashback, so to speak, right? It's good for you, but then, and this is a story that happened to my acquaintance, they have a falling out, a serious falling out. They part ways, that person resigns, and the employer says, wait, give me the phone back now. He says, well, hold on, how come it was all deducted from my salary? He goes, no, the phone was bought by the company, it's a work phone, you stole the phone from me. Here, please, a statement to the police, give me back the phone. You understand, right? What a mess the person got into out of nowhere. For this example alone, I think we've earned a like, so don't hesitate to give a like. Well, probably the most severe, shocking scam today, it's the signature. It's forgery of signatures. Friends, never sign papers for someone else, even if the person asks you to. Even if they ask you in writing. Okay, if they ask you in writing, you will be accomplices together, kind of guilty, right? But nevertheless, never sign for someone else. You can sign with your own signature after asking them for a power of attorney. You can download a power of attorney template from the internet, pay a 17 zloty state fee, submit it to the city office, and you can sign officially. But signing with their signature, that is already a crime. Such a story happened with a friend of mine who also worked at a company, and the employer asked a signature from Prezos was needed there. Prezos, of course, was somewhere abroad, and he calls him saying, this and that, your signature is needed here. He says, listen, I'm not there right now, sign for me, you know my signature. We've been friends since childhood. Again, I trust you. Sign it, come on. He signs it, and they have a falling out. And the one who asked for the signature himself says, well, that's it. I'm suing you. To court for forgery of the signature. The other one says, stop, you ask me yourself. When did I ask you? He looks, and the other one has already deleted all the messages on social media. He just deleted them knowing what he was doing, maybe planning the situation in advance as a backdoor, as a workaround. That's how the person did it, and this could happen to anyone. But not to you, because you are subscribed to our channel. If you haven't done so yet, please do. And now you know which situations to avoid. My friends, thank you for watching this video. I hope it was useful for you. If so, support us with likes and comments. Share your stories in the comments to this video, and see you in the next episodes. Created with utmost precision by Dimitrov.